You clicked this video because you are tired of the silence. You're exhausted from being the invisible man. You've perfected the role of the good guy, the reliable friend, the emotional support animal. And what do you get? Politeness, pity. The cold, hard fact is that she sees you, but she doesn't notice you. Look at your effort. Every perfect text, every tailored attempt to seem intriguing, every desperate performance you stage. It's a plea. It's an exhausting, continuous request for her validation. You are a man walking around with an exposed, hungry ego, perpetually begging the world, and specifically her, to feed it with approval. Why are you chasing? Because you have mistakenly outsourced your self-worth. You believe her attention is the certification you need to prove you are valuable. That desperate hunt for external approval confirms one devastating truth. There is a hole in your center, a void where a solid, self-generated identity should be. She smells that weakness. She feels that parasitic neediness. This is not about the clothes you wear. It is about the energy you project. You think you are being persistent. She experiences you as a psychological drain. When you are performing for her approval, you are screaming insecurity. This confirms your low status. That is why she ignores you. Not your looks, not your income, but the fact that your center is hollow. You are a man seeking to be fixed by an external source. Stop it. Cut it out. That weak man, the man who needs her to define his reality, must die now. He is an emotional hostage, disguised as an adult, and women are not attracted to weakness they have to manage. They are attracted to the power they can trust. Your mission begins now. You have to fill that void with something real, something earned, something so immovable that her presence becomes a welcomed addition, not a desperate necessity. You must trade performance for actual purpose. You're done being the nice guy who finishes last, right? Good, because he is irrelevant. Stop waiting for permission to be powerful. By the end of this video, you will not only understand the definitive blueprints to building a life she respects, but you will also possess the internal power that makes her need to pay attention. Now we cut deep. The chase ends here. You need to understand this fundamental truth. Her interest is a side effect, never the goal. If the central axis of your entire adult life revolves around the acquisition of a woman, your life is weak. You have fundamentally failed the masculine imperative. Your job is to be the quality man regardless of who is watching. What is your relentless pursuit? Don't give me the vague garbage. What is the specific, difficult, measurable task that demands your time, your focus, and your ultimate sacrifice? This is your mission. If you struggle to define it, then you are drifting. She steps aboard your boat and realizes there's no captain. That is anti-attraction. The core of masculine energy is direction and forward movement. This mission demands the sovereignty of your time and energy. You must treat your purpose like the emergency room, urgent, serious, and requiring undivided focus. When she calls and you are building something real, the answer must occasionally be, "I'm busy. I'll call you when my work is done." You are currently too available. When she senses she is the most important, most time-consuming thing in your world, she loses respect. A man with a mission is scarce. Scarcity creates value. She has to compete, not against other women, but against the high-stakes reality of your own purpose. She must earn a place in your orbit. This leads to self-discipline. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. You hate the early alarm? Good. That is where you must go. Discipline is the deliberate sacrifice of immediate pleasure for long-term power. You must prove to yourself that your word is law. This internal consistency is the true source of your masculine frame. She feels the result, the quiet, rock-solid confidence of a man who is the undisputed leader of his own life. Your foundation must be so solid that a woman entering it enhances it, but never defines it. If she leaves, your building does not collapse. That is the safety, the strength, and the power she is subconsciously seeking. Build the fortress, and the right woman will want to live inside its walls. The foundation is built. Now we forge the steel that surrounds it, the frame. It is the psychological reality you project, the silent, unshakable declaration, "This is my world. I am stable, and you must align with my stability." She will test your frame, not out of malice, but out of necessity. She needs to know if you are a safe, strong man. If you fold under her small storms, if you change your plans, your opinions, or your values for a moment of peace or validation, you fail the test. Respect vanishes immediately. The failure is always reactivity. This is the subtle feminine energy leakage. She gets moody, and suddenly your mood is dictated by hers. Her drama, her emotional noise, it must be met with non-reactivity. You must become the calm center of the storm. Her emotions are the weather. You are the mountain. You do not argue with the weather. You observe it. Response is masculine action. Reactivity is a feminine weakness. You must hold the line. Holding that line requires the absolute non-negotiable power of no. The weak man says yes to every inconvenience because he fears losing approval. But your no must be a wall of steel. When you say no, it means no. It protects your purpose, your boundaries, and your self-respect. Your no is not about being cruel. It's about being defined. You must be willing to walk away. This is the final, terrifying edge of the masculine frame. If you cannot honestly be willing to lose her, then your frame is a lie. She knows it. If your self-worth is tethered to her presence, you are not free. The unyielding core means your state is self-generated. You don't need her smile to feel good. You are already whole. You are already moving. This internal wholeness is the frame. It's the silent, unshakable power that makes her try to break it. And when she fails, she realizes she must align with it. That is the moment she can't ignore you. You've built the foundation. You've forged the frame. Now we talk about the power that sits inside that frame. Your presence. This heavy energy is forged in the deepest, most uncomfortable part of your mind, the shadow. The masculine man is not the man without fear. He is the man who faces the dark parts of himself, who confronts the shadow. What insecurities are you desperately hiding behind your jokes? That avoidance is a massive leak. You can talk a strong game, but if you haven't done the heavy lifting of self-confrontation, that insecurity screams louder than your words. She is attracted to the quiet certainty of a man who has looked his failures and his fears directly in the eye. You integrate your flaws. You own your imperfections. This integration is what makes your presence powerful. It means you are stable because you are complete. Now, look at how you carry that integrated power. The body speaks. Does your posture communicate dominance over your own space, or does it apologize for existing? You must occupy your physical space fully. Stand tall. Plant your feet. This is about being assertive in your right to exist where you are. Your movement should be deliberate, not rushed. Calm movement implies control. This is the sovereignty of your form. The weak man fills every void with nervous chatter. The strong man uses silence. Silence is power. When you are comfortable in the emptiness of a conversation, you force the other person to fill the gap. It creates tension. It's the difference between a puppy begging for attention and a lion observing its territory. Finally, understand the absolute necessity of integrity. This is the ultimate masculine trait. You must live in alignment with your word. Hypocrisy is weak.
Integrity means your actions match your stated values. Integrity is the anchor of your power. When she knows your word is solid, she experiences a deep sense of trust and safety. This safety is built on the reliable strength of a man who is the same, unwavering person everywhere. This man cannot be ignored. You have the frame and the presence. How does that translate when you are standing directly in front of her? Leadership. Leadership is not a suggestion, it is a direction. The weak man asks, "What do you want to do?" He abdicates the masculine role. The strong man has a plan. He communicates the plan clearly. "We are going here. Be ready at this time." He is decisive. He is proactive. Masculine energy leads. Feminine energy follows. When you lead, you allow her to relax.
Now consider emotional safety through strength. She is attracted to a man who makes her feel safe because he is logically and psychologically stable. You are her grounding force. Her emotions are the weather. You are the mountain. You listen, you acknowledge, but you remain the calm center. This refusal to engage in emotional chaos is the deepest form of leadership. This leads us to the principle: high standards, zero negotiation. Know your worth. You must be willing to quickly, respectfully, and definitively exit the moment she violates your core standards. Disrespect is not up for discussion. If she is late without apology, if she is dismissive of your mission, you must enforce the boundary. A man who lets a woman walk all over him has no self-respect. Your standards are for you. When you enforce a boundary, you are silently telling her, "This is who I am. My life continues powerfully either way." This is the highest form of self-love. The final element: you are the prize. Stop acting like you need to convince her. Your life, your mission, your unyielding frame, that is the offer. You are interviewing her to see if she is a suitable addition to the empire you are building. You are the one doing the vetting. When you flip the script, you instantly become the compelling force. You shift from a man who seeks validation to a man who bestows validation. She gets to decide if she's coming along for the ride. You have the blueprints. You have the truth. You understand the mission, the frame, and the power of an undeniable presence. You came looking for a trick. You found the requirement to rebuild yourself from the ground up. She can ignore the nice guy. She can ignore the desperate performer. But she cannot, ever, ignore a man who does not need her. That is the magnetic field. His self-worth is internally generated. His life is moving at a velocity she cannot disrupt. You are offering her stability, direction, and the privilege of being part of a life that matters. Stop waiting for permission. Your life is your ultimate magnet. Are you ready to trade the comfort of being invisible for the power of being undeniable? Are you ready to face the internal demons, the fear, the weakness, and kill them with action? The transformation is brutal. It happens in the discipline, the difficult no, and the commitment to your word. The choice is now. Face the friction and ascend, or stay soft and remain a whisper. Build a fortress she wants to enter. If you are serious about building a life that demands attention, a life of undeniable power, hit subscribe right now. Drop a comment below with the word anchor if you are ready to solidify your frame and commit to this hard path. Smash that like button, Share this video with one man who needs this wake-up call. I'll see you in the arena. See you in the next video.